Hello there, folks. I'm Dan Brown from a sort of interesting life.com. You're joining me on board good old Narrowboat Tilly this evening for one of the Dan Brown monologues where I talk about a completely random subject as chosen from the stainless steel pan of random topics. And I suppose now we've got the basic concept out of the way, let's dive straight in. So we hold the pan up above eye level, have a good mix around in there, and draw our topic, which today is, what do I watch on YouTube? Now, this is a relatively recent addition to the pot, as this was from, I can only apologise, I'm not sure off the top of my head who requested this to be added, so if you do have topics that you want me to talk about, then feel free to leave them in the comments below and they shall be added to the stainless steel pan of random topics. Anyway, what do I watch on YouTube? Now, this is something that I've been asked quite a lot over the time, and certainly as this YouTube channel's grown, and I'm afraid I'm probably going to disappoint a lot of people when I say I don't actually watch that much on YouTube at all. And, well, I suppose, instead of me talking about it, let's grab my phone and fire up YouTube and see who I'm subscribed to and a few of me videos and stuff. Right, I'm going to actually count down from 3 to 1 in a second, actually hold the phone up in the window to get signal to go on YouTube, and then rejoin you after I've got some sort of idea of what I'm going to talk about. Right then, 3, 2, 1, and here I am once again. So, the fact that I've just had to hold my phone up in the window to get signal to go on YouTube really sums up a big reason of why I don't spend that much time actually viewing things on YouTube. The other reasons are the fact that I spend so much time actually filming and editing stuff, and also at the moment writing, is that, well, basically I just don't have the time to sit around and watch loads of stuff. And I suppose that ties into why I always say, if you watch my other videos, that I listen to loads of audiobooks and podcasts, and the fact that, obviously, firstly, audio is a lot less data to stream to your phone when you're struggling for signal compared to a video, like coming over the airwaves to your phone. That makes it a lot easier to actually get podcasts loaded and listen to when I'm out and about. And the fact as well that it's the audio versus visual thing, where to watch a video I have to obviously sit down and watch it and can't really do anything else. Whereas when I'm listening to audiobooks and podcasts, I mean, very often I'll be walking down the towpath or walking off to get supplies, or I don't know, for example, even just pottering about on the boat. I mean, last year when I was painting the inside of Tilly again, the amount of hours and hours and hours that I was just in here painting and listening to audiobooks or podcasts and that was just unbelievable. So, of course, it's a lot easier, not only in terms of streaming to get audio, but as I say, I can do more than just sit down and be locked onto my phone while I'm listening to a podcast. So that's just something I like to say to start off with. When it comes really down to, what on earth is that in the background? Oh, sorry, it's just the light shining on the pan there in the background distracting me. I thought there was some sort of flashing light coming from outside then. So, anyway, after that completely random distraction, I'll also say I'm looking extremely red in the face on this video. I think part of that is just the weird lighting conditions I've got for this video. Not very well set up, I can only apologise. But also, I've spent all day at work in the fridges, and now I'm on an extremely hot boat too. So, my goodness me, I'm feeling the heat here. So, if we actually finally get round to some of the channels I'm subscribed to, and again, even though I'm subscribed to a few channels, only about 10 to 15 I'd say, I don't really watch any videos of any particular channel that much, as it's sort of more a thing that every now and then I'll like binge watch maybe 5 to 10 videos in a row and then not look at them for goodness knows how long, and then go back and watch another few videos together, rather than being like, oh yeah, I can't wait for next week's video. So some of the things that I'm really interested in, I suppose, just as the audio thing I think is perfect for history, and history vastly dominates and outnumbers everything in terms of my audiobooks and podcasts, and certainly in hours listened to. I think that video and visual is perfect for science and experiments and things like that. So the channels that I'm subscribed to are things like OK to Be Smart, Smarter Every Day, Veritasium, TED Talks, as in TED rather than Teddy Talks, Vsauce, minute physics. Those sorts of things are what I really like to watch, and just general videos, not necessarily from those channels, of just random experiments going on and videos of lectures and just all that sort of stuff. Like, again, just like the podcasts and audiobooks, more of learning and education rather than just pure entertainment. In fact, I don't think, there's only really one channel, Kinda Funny, that I'm subscribed to that's actually sort of a entertainment channel, and I don't really watch their videos rather than just listen to the podcast, again, based on the same reasons that I say, that it's just people talking. And Kinda Funny, I would say, is definitely not to everybody's taste, and it will come up with some very coarse topics and very close to the bone, things that you may not want to hear. But it was a company set up by some people who used to work at IGN, the games website. And back from the days when I used to be a massive super nerd, I've just really followed them for years and years and years, from goodness knows how long, way back, like getting on for the best part of a decade. And I don't know if you saw that, a quick fly buzzing past somewhere. Where it's gone now, I don't know, I can only apologise. So really, that's the basic sort of theme of these things. I mean, the other channels, there's like people like Carrie Harlan, Romany's Realm, like Notebook and Organiser, people like that I like to check in with every now and then. And also something that I do like, and I can't really explain what it is, but ASMR videos. Now, this again is something that, if you're not familiar with it, it might seem like the weirdest thing you can imagine, where it's just people like talking and whispering quietly, and it's the whole intention is to give you that sort of tingly feeling and that sort of thing. And there's all sorts of different styles that people do. Some are literally like just sounds as if you've got like stuff touching your ears and that. Some are like proper, really well done role play videos where you might be going to see some sort of psychic and there's all sorts of random elements in them. And I mean, it's something that I couldn't explain specifically what it is or why I like it, but it's that sort of lulling you to sleep and calming sort of thing. And I find that it really helps if I'm either stopping at my mum's house or at my friend's house and I can't get to sleep, and just stuff like that. It's totally like, well, I suppose in most cases they're entirely based around the idea of being super calm, super relaxing and sending you off to sleep. And a lot of them are also made specifically to like tell you to go to sleep and that sort of thing. And I mean, not in any sort of psychological sense of this is tuned to make you go to sleep, but just themed around, right, go to sleep. And it's a really weird thing, but if you type in ASMR, then I mean there's stuff like Gentle Whispering Channel and ASMR Requests, and there's some really amazing productions that people have done in this theme. And it's one of the weirdest things is you get these videos that are getting millions and millions and millions of views. I mean, huge amounts of views, and people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and that. And yet, it's still something that, even with all that popularity, until, I don't know, last year, the year before last, I'd never heard of it. And a lot of people, when I say, oh, have you ever heard of ASMR or seen videos like that on YouTube? They're like, what on earth? And it's that weird thing of, it's like, you either know it and not really interested, know it and absolutely love it, or have never heard of it. Yet, the amount of people who have heard of it is unbelievable once you start digging in. So, those are just a few of the sorts of things that I actually actively watch. I would say that rather than watching specific channels or anything like that, what I end up doing more often than not is thinking, whether I'm going about me life or sat on the boat or whatever, thinking, oh yeah, I wonder what that's like, and then watching a video on just something completely random. So, for example, recent ones are, I'd recently been in a car and we'd driven past the runway at, I believe, Airbus Harden, that's how it's pronounced. My apologies if not. And basically, you're just going along the road, roundabouts, all that sort of stuff. And then there's just this massive runway at the massive Airbus plane factory, basically, where the Beluga, one of the famous planes that you see all over the local area, carrying wings and bits of plane to and from different places. And basically, you're just in the car and you look straight down the runway at one point, and it's got all these super bright LEDs in it, as you can imagine. It just looks awesome. And I thought, oh yeah, I wonder what that actually looks like like if you're seeing planes arriving and taking off. And so I was like, right, better get on YouTube and have a look. And true enough, there are videos of these runways and the beluga up close, and it was just one of those random spur of the moment things of like, yeah, that's what I want to see. So really, that's how I end up watching a lot more stuff. Rather than going, right, what's this channel doing today? What's that channel doing today? And my goodness me, I wish this fly would stop buzzing around here somewhere. So that's what I would say. I mean, recently as well, one of the most recent things I ended up watching was videos on claw games, as in going down to the arcade and literally, you know, the little games where you have a button to control like a claw in a big box that's going to drop down and try and pick up a teddy and drop it in the hole so you can win it and that sort of stuff. Basically ended up, I'm not sure what it was that started me off thinking about those, but I was like, there's got to be some videos of some good ones of those about. And so I was watching videos of the giant ones where you win like huge balls, and then ones where people have won money and different bits and pieces, and ended up just watching about 10 videos of different claw machines and people winning and people with excellent skills and amazingly bad luck or amazingly good luck. And again, that's the sort of thing I end up watching just on a whim, rather than going, right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch this, and this, and I'm going to educate myself on this, that, and the other. And I suppose that's really the rather boring reality of what do I watch on YouTube? Nothing really, and nothing in particular. Say sciencey stuff, and then just things off the top of my head as I go about my life and think, or get reminded about things. Equally, I suppose going back to the audiobook thing, sometimes I'll hear something about, I don't know, this place or that place, and things like tours around Rome or different locations in the world, and then I'll go on YouTube to see videos from those locations and be like, yeah, well, that's not how I envisioned it in my mind, or flipping heck, that's exactly how the person described it. And again, it's all just sort of, just as I go, think of something and go, yeah, that's quite good. And or maybe sometimes be bitterly disappointed, as people probably are when they tune into some of my videos. Anyway, I hope that hasn't been too disappointing or boring. Unfortunately, I haven't got any massive channel recommendations or anything like that to give you. Just search for sciencey stuff, search for ASMR stuff if you haven't ever experienced it. You definitely need earphones in to experience it properly, and you'll probably think, flipping heck, this Dan's a bit of a weirdo if this is the sort of stuff that he listens to. But I will say there's an awful lot of it out there with every possible style or interest covered, from having your hair cut to being in space, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, on that note, I will say thank you so much for watching. Check out my other videos for loads of outdoors and scenery and canal life and goodness knows what else, rather than me talking at you all the time. Feel free to tune in. Feel free to add me on Facebook or like the Facebook page and Twitter if you want to see loads of boaty pictures and countryside and all that sort of general outdoorsy goodness. And of course, please do consider checking out my short books for the Kindle. You'll find links to everything just mentioned in the description below. And until the next time, keep it boat worthy, keep it YouTube worthy, and of course, farewell.